Hello there. It's Sensei Victoria Whitfield here, your business Reiki master. It's my joy to help empathic entrepreneurs like you get and stay grounded and clear in mind, body, and business. Welcome back to another edition of your weekly love letters. This is your source for channeled holistic stress management techniques and guidance for developing your natural intuition. Whether you're looking to improve the quality of your personal or professional life, let this love letter be your reminder that you are not alone and that together we can make that happen. Let's glow and grow together. So this is week 4 of 5 of our deep dive into shifting our perspective so that we can step into our divinity finally in life and business. And if you are just seeing this for the first time, you didn't start from week 1, please make sure that you go ahead and stop now, go back on my blog at victoriawhitfield.com so that you can be grounded in this process. Start at week 1. So for our 4th week, my spirit guides have said that we need to talk about the importance of knowing what is no longer tolerable. Knowing what is no longer tolerable. So last week, we really sank into our role and knowing it very clearly, really honoring who we are, what our purpose is here on earth, right? To be that guide, that light that only you can shine, or only I can shine from my own unique story and yours within yours, right? And we're here again at Washington Rock in the dead of winter. It is a very foggy day, so normally we're able to see between 20 to 30 miles out. You might have seen that in the previous videos, but this is so good that the weather has shifted to be even more foggy, because this now brings the perspective inward, right? That's a message and a representation of our lives right now, is to be very clear of what is no longer acceptable. So at your previous point in perspective, where you were coming from before, perhaps there were certain people, certain behaviors, certain foods, right? Certain investments that you were engaging in that were acceptable. It was part of your standard operating procedure. And when we get to a certain point of development or achieve a certain level of success, there is this expectation that what's been working is going to continue to work, right? Now, if you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, however, that is unfortunately the definition of insanity. There's real satisfaction, there is real fulfillment in having progress when we get to grow from our experiences. And sometimes when we're called for that expansion or that ascension, personally or professionally, that involves changing what our definition of what is tolerable. Right now, I'm not exactly sure who this message is for, right? But I want you, since you're watching, right, I want you to consider, what am I tolerating? What am I tolerating in my personal life, for example, that is keeping me at this level of weight or in this type of a relationship? What am I tolerating? Am I tolerating people talking down to me or telling me how things need to be? Or am I tolerating the reaction that my body has to certain foods, such as gluten, for example, right? What are you tolerating personally that could be reinforcing the same sick cycle recurring and recurring? And that's personally, but also professionally. What are you tolerating? Are you tolerating receiving a certain level of income because other people said you should be satisfied with that, right? Or if you look to your right and you look to your left, that's what everybody else makes, right? Or that's what everybody else is saying is acceptable. Are you tolerating that? Or are you tolerating, also professionally, a mentor or an authority figure that might rub you the wrong way in some key areas, but because other things are really great, you overlook that, right? You instead stay and follow their rules, but murmur about the things that bother you on your off time or in quiet moments to yourself or to confidants. Be kind to yourself if that's your situation, that you're tolerating things, and that can be a coping mechanism, right? To create a sense of stability. And I'm hearing this very loud and very aligned in the energy to tell you that in order to create stability finally for yourself, you may have put more tolerations on your plate, right? Be kind to yourself. There's a difference between acceptance, right, and clarity. When you're just accepting what you've been handed to you, there's a bit of a lack of innovation there, a lack of agency. You don't have to give away your power. But when you are clear that this is what I want, or clear that this is how I feel, and you voice that as well as stand true to that, yes, it may trigger some people, or may ruffle some feathers, or make things a little bit unstable for a time, but that's temporary because you're getting back into alignment, putting yourself back at the center that you deserve to be. And I'm hearing the Oracle cards calling in the energy. All month we've been journeying with the Isis Oracle Cards deck by Alana Fairchild. And I'll make this quick because my fingers are freezing. Happy winter, everyone. Let's see. Oh, gorgeous. Initiation. Spiritual testing of Ra and Lady Isis. This is where we are going to leave off for the week. The reason why you're shifting your perspective this week in particular, by getting clear on what is no longer tolerable, right? What you're no longer going to be tolerating is because you're on a path to initiation. This is your time. This is the time for you to shift. Not later. It's now. It's now. And when you decide that a certain thing is no longer acceptable, that activates your inner power. I can tell that to you from my own story. When I personally decided that being in an abusive relationship, which was mostly emotionally, and at times financially and even physically abusive, when I decided that was no longer acceptable, I was not going to tolerate this anymore, my whole life changed because I had behaviors such as leaving and investing more in my own self-worth, right, and raising my confidence level. I had behaviors that followed through with that because it was unequivocal. I decided I'm not tolerating this anymore. The same thing that when I personally decided that smoking was no longer something I was going to tolerate as a behavior of mine, and being around people who smoke regularly. That for me, I had asthma, and it would exacerbate my asthma, and my breathing has been so much better, right? And the quality of relationships that I have around me have been so much better since then. So what are you no longer tolerating? Comment below or send me an email back at victoriawhitfield.com/contact, right? Or team@victoriawhitfield.com. Let me know, what are you no longer tolerating? What is no longer acceptable in your life and in your business? Okay, make sure you subscribe on YouTube so that you get these love letters first every week. And I'll see you next time. May you feel loved and safe at work. And please enjoy the journey. Bye for now.